Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Tuesday, October the 8th. The year is 2019. Let's talk trading. Trading system, putting the pieces together. I've been getting a lot of emails and messages regarding like daily systems and, you know, entries and exits and putting the whole thing together. So I thought maybe I'll start talking about it. Maybe it might take more than one video. Let's just see what happens. Okay, trading systems. Now, to me, there's basically three pieces to the trading system. And the most important, well, not most important, but all the pieces are important, but risk and money management, it's really important. When do you stop out? When do you take a loss? And when do you take profit? To me, it depends on what the chart is telling you. But you can analyze the chart beforehand and you decide, hey, if I go long here and price goes against me and it hits this point, I'm out. And then you say, okay, well, then the stop loss is going to be so many pips away. And that means my position size needs to be this because I don't want to risk more than a certain amount of money. And then as the trade goes in your favor, let's say, you might take a look at the chart and go, hey, you know, right in this area, price reversed. And a simple rule of thumb is if you're not willing to add to the trade, then exit. Because if you weren't in the trade and you had to make a decision, do I enter the trade here? If yes, which direction? Then if yes, then you decide the position size and once again the stop loss. But if you said, hey, right now, would I enter this trade right here? If the answer is no, then most likely you should probably exit the trade, take your profit. You know, method, that's another part of the three-legged stool of trading. Which method are you using? Some people use a mishmash. And if you don't have a specific set of rules, you know, as Deming would say, if you can't describe what you're doing as a process, then you don't know what you're doing. And finally, execution and performance. Are you executing your trades according to your plan, according to your checklist, or are you just, as we used to say, airballing? Are you just trading willy-nilly? I mean, just random, just whatever you feel like. Because if you are, then you're not going to have much success. I mean, because, you know, we talk about repetition. Trading should be boring. You should be doing the same thing over and over again. Why? Because it produces profit. And so if it's producing profit, why do you want to mess with it? I tell that to traders almost every time. They'll send an email or call me or something, and I ask them, are you profitable? Yes. Then don't change a thing. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody else. Just do what you're doing because you're profitable. And just pay attention because sometimes things change. Because after you repeat something and you have success, it builds your confidence, it builds your competence, which then, you know, increases your success, and it's an upward spiral. Yeah. Once again, I can't emphasize it enough. Money and risk management is so important. But remember, boys and girls, fellow traders, these videos are for educational purposes only, and your results may differ from mine. You know, trading, especially Forex trading, is extremely risky. You could lose all the money in your portfolio. And because of that, if you're looking for financial advice, trading advice, you should seek it from an accredited financial professional. That way, when they lose your money, you know it was lost by someone who was an accredited financial professional rather than by some advice you got off of YouTube or some Yahoo on a trading forum, right? Okay, moving on. Here we go. Let's look at the weekly dollar yen. As you can see, it's now in that lower wick zone, and it's just actually, I'm sorry, it's I looked at this wrong. It started off in the lower wick zone and it almost hit that previous week's midpoint. So, and it hit the previous week's pivot point too. So, what does that tell you? I mean, I know I like to use midpoints as crossover entries and places to take profit. I mean, that was a nice trade from open to midpoint over 80 pips. If you don't take that trade, or maybe you took 60 pips here at that pivot, if you don't do that, that's on you. Can't blame me for that. Okay? Now, looking at the weekly gaps, there's still some that haven't filled, so there's still opportunity out there, right there in the pound dollar. And looking at the daily chart, you can see we're still below the yearly open, but we're up for the week. Now, we talked about trading systems, putting it all together. So you pick a system. Maybe you pick the opening day breakout. So here we had the opening day for the month. It broke out. Or maybe you have an opening day for the week, and you can see here so far this hasn't broken out. So maybe tomorrow it breaks out, or maybe it stays within this the whole week. So for a daily person, for somebody trading the daily candle, you just come and you take a look. Okay, where is it in relation to the opening day of the month? Maybe the opening day of the year, the opening day of the week. You can see here's the opening day of the year. Hasn't gotten back to that point yet, but maybe some other pair has. And so maybe you look to find a pair that does fit that criteria. In fact, let's just take a look here at the euro yen. You see, there's the opening day. So it's, and why did I pick the euro yen? Close minus the low for the year. It's 17 pips off the yearly low. That's one reason I picked it. But you can see here, it went into the first day of the month, trading day. You see it went in there, but it came out and it's now below it. So once again, daily traders, you can look, daily traders, if you're trying to trade, off the daily charts, once again, here's an opportunity for you. First trading day of the month. Oh, I haven't updated the October, so I'll have to do that. Inside bar. Daily traders, this is something you can look at. You can look across the dashboard here, or you can do it by eyeballing. You can see here we had an inside bar, the daily, and then it shot out. Now it's back in, so you can look for it possibly to move out. We also had, you can see here, weekly inside bar. It was 7 weeks ago, but price dipped in yesterday and shot back out. You could have taken that trade. So there's lots of opportunities here to take these trades. You can see here a monthly inside bar. It was 1 month ago. So opportunities on the daily. You just look at the chart. You can pretty much put in your limit orders, your pending orders, to enter those trades if price triggers. It's some simple stuff. You don't have to make it difficult. And somehow I double clicked on that. You can see here, range for the day, we have 6 pairs over 100. We almost made a new high, but it reversed. So those are the kind of things that you can do if you're a daily trader. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. you can just look at a few different methods or just pick one like inside bar or wick zones and just trade breakouts. Usually on the daily, you probably want to trade breakouts more than you want to trade reversals because if you're trading a reversal, it's going to probably happen sometime during the day and you're more likely to miss a reversal than you are a breakout. It's kind of hard to put a pending order on a reversal because you have no idea what price is doing. So for example, if you were doing holo trades, you have to do this, while the market's open, which it almost always is in Forex, but you have to be there. You don't know, is this the lowest open or is it going to make a new lowest open? You don't know. So in reversals, you really have to be there in real time. It's kind of hard to set those trades in advance. And the buy zone trade, sure, you can trigger it, but you just don't know how far price is going to move, and you can't see the speed of it moving. You can't see, is it oscillating? Does it look range bound? Is it making new highs or lows while you're sitting, while you're away? So, buy zone trade, pretty much you probably want to be there to manage that trade. Rat zone, the same thing. It's a reversal trade. You have to be present to take advantage of a rat reversal. It's really hard to do that if you're not there. Pivot, on the other hand, you can set these type of trades beginning of the month, beginning of the week, beginning of the day. Where's price open? Here, pivots below. You put your, you just trigger into the trade. Maybe you use a buy zone. Maybe you say if it goes 5 pips below the open, you'll take the trade, head toward the pivot, set your take profit right at the pivot, and you'll pick up sometimes a handful of pips, sometimes a little more. In fact, I added the dashboard here. We have close minus the pivot and close minus the future pivot. So you can come in, say, an hour before the market closes, and you can see how far away price is from the future pivot. Now, if you see these ones here that are 10 or less, you may or may not want to take those trades. Anything more than 10, above or below the pivot, you might want to take the trade and trade back towards the pivot because there's very few missed pivots here. Price action, you can't do this really on a daily because you don't know which way price is going to move. You need to be there to watch it once again move from one level to the other. Wick zones, you can definitely trade a wick zone. Price opens, you can see, hey, we can take the breakout to the bottom or the breakout or breakout of the top of the upper wick zone or breakout the bottom of the lower wick zone, depending on where price is. So if price is opening near the upper, you don't want to give up all of this waiting to go short. So you just be looking pretty much one direction, a continuation move to the upside. So you put your pending order there. Buy, sell, you probably wouldn't want to use this on a daily unless you're only going to trade the breakouts to the north, okay, or to the south. You just want to take the breaks. Tick, of course, you can't do it. Einstein, no, you can't do that on a daily either. Like I said, I had a few traders ask about systems and dailies, so I'm trying to just give you guys some tips so you can see what's going on. Here we have the rat zone and the wick zone showing overlaps. Okay, we were doing actually, I think this is some weekly and monthly wick zones all together. So you can, once again, take those breakouts using the same systems that you use on the daily, using on the monthly and the weekly. And here we have the range, weekly range, ATR, weekly open, previous day here, or week, or actually, no, this is the opening day. So, fellow traders, just remember, never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So, drain the banks.